Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? That's that's how we do it. Let me check my mic. That's good. How's it going? 9 o'clock Saturday morning. You're spending your time with me. Unless you watch the late stream, or the live stream later, the replay. So, I think we can start. We can do this. Let's first start off. It's the 48th consecutive live stream. It's getting dicey though. I have to take my dad to the hospital in about a week, and I have to take. Part of me wants to go to this soccer trip in Arkansas, but part of me says I need to stay home and show houses. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I love to go on road trips. Love it. I don't know that there's anything I enjoy more. The problem is in this particular situation, the game is the Sunday game is scheduled for 8:30 at night on Sunday. We got to be in St. Louis, for school on Monday morning. I got to be in St. Louis for my work. I don't know if I'm going to test I don't know about the live stream, guys. I don't know if I can make it. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I have no microphone that's decent. I'll be in a hotel room with like 3 people. I have my Bluetooth headphones. I don't know if I can use it as a microphone though. If I did that, I don't have any streaming software on my laptop. Do I use YouTube's? It's like it's coming, like the trip is coming. Tough. It's tough. I'm gonna be away from my family for a while, no matter what. Like the oldest is gonna look at some schools, I guess, during spring break or something. This trip, if I don't go, I don't particularly like being away from my family at even for a day. At least my wife, I don't like it. So I don't know what to do. The way I look at it, the consecutive live stream is fun. Okay. I don't know that it's doing any good for my channel. I don't know if it's doing any good for me. I mean, it's doing good for me in that I like to do it, but I don't know that it's like making my channel better by doing it consecutively. I could do a live stream once a week and probably get the same results, probably get better results, because there'd be more of an onus to watch that particular live stream. I just like to live stream every day because there's just so much going on. And like, I can't tell you what I saw yesterday in my live stream or the day before, but it's not about that. It's how we see the news daily, how we see the real estate world daily, and trying to give you some sort of insight into what I'm thinking. I mean, can you guys stand to be away from me from a Friday at like noon to a Monday at noon? I think I could do a live stream Friday here at the house. That means Saturday and Sunday, no live stream. That's not fun. But if I could, oh boy, if I could get my laptop to work. If I had a good laptop, I could stream no matter what. But I don't have a good laptop. I have a laptop that works for what I need, and that's about it. I guess I'll test, and then you tell me if you hate it or not. I really like my streaming software, though. I'm not very good at it. I could be a lot better. But I don't know. All right, well, I've spent 5 minutes trying to figure that out. And, Chad is smarter than I am. The internet's smarter than I am, collectively. There's no question. Somebody has a solution for me. I just don't know what it is. Someone has the right answer. I mean, I already know that if I go, that there won't be any podcasts for Saturday and Sunday. I get used to my setup here. I like my studio. And I can't take all this stuff with me. I'm just thinking if I can. I mean, my camera I can definitely bring with me, but then it feeds into no, it's got a capture card. Well, I have the capture card. I got the mic. How would I do the microphone? And then I don't have good lighting. But I want to stream. I don't know. We'll worry about it later. As for me today, usually this afternoon I'll be heading to Florissant and Ferguson to show houses to a first-time home buyer, first time out. We're going to buy anything today? No. Is it good to get out there and start seeing houses? Absolutely. Advice. If you want to buy a house, get out there and go look at houses. And go look at houses that somewhat meet your criteria. Don't worry about the pictures online and just go. Just go. Get it done. Say, well, I don't want to offend my agent by making them go look at houses. It's my job. I don't find it offensive to go look at houses, especially if you do some things that are helpful to me. Like, so if you want to go see a house, give me as much time as you can, like as much notice as you want or as you can, to tell me what houses you want to see. Like, I mean, if you can give me the houses the day before, it's a lot easier than 2 hours before. Okay. If you can, if you could do that, that would help me. But other than that, I mean, let's go see houses. Can't buy a house without seeing it. Can't write a contract without seeing the house. My opinion. Don't worry about what the houses look like 100%. Like, just go and figure out an area and then start looking, and then make sure the price is close to what you can afford. So if you're approved for like 250, don't look at houses at 300,000, but sit there at 250. 200 to 250 is fine. And then look at the outside of the house. And I mean this in all honesty. What does the outside of the house look like? What does the front picture look like? Look like a house you'd ever live in? If not, then take it off the list. If it is a house that looks like you would live in it, then we should probably go take a look. You say, well, what about the inside? It's probably terrible. Well, it probably is. Or it's probably great. If it's staged, it's probably great. But we're not going to know anything until we go in the house. We're not going to, like, we have the metaverse coming, or here. You're not going to live in a house in the metaverse, okay? You may have a house in the metaverse, and you may hang out there all the time and want to be there, but there's still going to be a lot of people on this planet, like, doing their everyday thing. I for one am not really that interested in the metaverse. Why? Because it's not going to solve the problems we have here on Earth. You still have racism, sexism. You still have class warfare, okay? I mean, you have religious issues across the world, intolerance, okay? And just because you put it on a fake place and you decide that you're going to somehow make up better rules than what are on Earth, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. There's like this underlying thing that no one can really process. And it to me, it falls down to between good and evil, basically. Good and evil. And evil shows up in many different ways. Okay? And as you're seeing with, like, look at how wonderful YouTube is. Okay? Look at how wonderful it is. Look at how wonderful Twitter is. But then also look at how bad Twitter is and how bad YouTube are. There's bad things to everything. And it's just going to be magnified in the metaverse. Okay. My opinion. I mean, I would love to. I mean, I guess I would love to be in an alternate place, but not with those big old glasses on my head. You know? And there's got to be some sort of exercise for your body. You can't just sit there for hours and hours and hours. So, I don't know. A lot of people are saying that real estate agents would be great for the metaverse because we can sell virtual property. It's like, I don't want to do that. I have enough trouble selling regular property. Why do I want to sell virtual property? And you say, well, you're a boomer. All right. All right. I've kind of done the math. Let's just assume, and I mean, this would be an optimistic assumption. Let's assume I make it to 100 and I'm 44 now. Do you think that last 20 years is going to be like, you know, me running around, like running a marathon? I mean, Anthony Fauci's 81, but I mean, it's just, to me, just, could we adapt it in 10 years? It's weird how technology adopts, but not how you think it would. And one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen, really from a business perspective, Apple's ability to come into the cell phone maker space and just dominate within a short amount of time. That was pretty good. Okay. You say, well, Samsung's better than, well, fine. I don't, but what I'm saying is this company, Apple, had nothing in the game. They were not a part of the cell phone game. And within a year after their product launch, they were the number one manufacturer. I mean, I just think that's impressive. So you say, well, who can execute like Apple did? Well, Apple tried to do there's rumors that they were going to do an automated vehicle, but that was the technology that seems to be going through growing pains. You got Tesla, but they say that Tesla is running in the back of semi-trucks. I don't know. Autonomous driving. Somebody got run over in Arizona like 2 years ago or a year ago, and that caused a kerfuffle, as it should. But it's strange the rate of like how technology works. I was talking to my web guy the other day, and I've known him since maybe 2004 or 5, and we were talking about responsive pages. There was a time when you had to write on the internet, on the websites, you had to do like a regular set of pages, and then you had to do a responsive, or not a responsive, but like a mobile set of pages. And the mobile pages had to be very sparse and filled with fewer pictures and stuff because no phones could produce it properly. And then Then there became responsive websites, and that pretty much solved that problem. I'm throwing knowledge out about websites. Like I don't know everything about it. Okay, I'm just saying the idea, like Google's idea of, I think it was MAP, they called it, mobile accelerated pages. No one's doing that. That technology didn't stay. I don't know. We're going to have electric cars. Everyone wants electric cars. That's what they say. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, the way I would look at it is from a manufacturing perspective. If you can have less parts, okay, and charge the same or more as a and people will actually buy it, then that's what you do. They say that the piston engine is pretty cheap to produce. I don't know if that's true or not, but if the electric motors are cheaper, you're going to get electric cars. Not even because of the environment, because manufacturers are greedy. They need profit. I mean, I'm in the same spot, and I hate to say it. I mean, I run a very, very small business, okay? And my health insurance is $450 a month. And I'm not a very sick person. I mean, relatively. I don't go to the hospital all the time or the doctor all the time, but I'm at $450 at 44. So, and I have to sell at least one house just to pay for my health insurance per year. And then, you hear that real estate agents make too much. That's the other thing that's really kind of... So there's this idea that when we get a check for commission, okay, that all of that is profit. Oh, you made too much. All this is profit. And that's, I think, the disingenuous argument about real estate agents and commissions. The assumption is it's all profit, and it's not. It's expenses. Lots of expenses. It's not easy to stay in business, okay, and pay yourself. Who will bear these costs if you cut the commissions? No one. No one will be a real estate agent. You say, well, that's a great thing. I don't think it is. I'll tell you what. If you can find a good real estate agent, okay, you've really found something. Not everyone's a good real estate agent. And that means, and we're talking about it as the practice of doing the business, not necessarily the marketing component to gain more clients. This is the way it is, the way I see it, for me. We got lots of stuff to talk about today, so I'm gonna move on, okay? And I wanted to talk about Twitter for a second, because everyone wants to talk about Twitter, but this shouldn't take too long. So Twitter, I had a client about 5 months ago, and he was into Twitter. He's like, Twitter's great. And I was like, I haven't been on Twitter in a number of years. Anything that's on Twitter is just auto-posted, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. And he said, no, you don't want to do that. People really, really like Twitter, and they'll start using you because you're on Twitter. I said, well, I don't think that's true. But you know what? Honestly, the guy is such a good guy. I mean, he has treated me so well, okay, that I have to listen to him. So I got on Twitter with Deerwood Realty, and it's going okay. When I left Twitter years ago, I had 20 followers, or 20 impressions mostly. When I got back, I pretty much have 20 impressions. But I wanted to go over something with you because it kind of, to me, it's kind of where I'm at with the world. So a firefighter here in St. Louis passed away fighting a fire on, I think, Friday. No, today's Saturday. So I think Thursday night. And the Riverfront Times posted, the firefighter and the little article in his name, and I've expressed at least on my podcast, that I just hate when people die when they're working. I just find that even if they knew the risks going in, I just get uncomfortable with that. I mean, uncomfortable is a negative as it could possibly be in this connotation. So I posted, RIP to the guy's name, and I got 200 impressions. So like what, 75% more than I would normally get? I don't know the math off the top of my head. But what I'm saying is significantly more impressions for that than anything that I've ever done. If I post about my live stream or post about showing houses or anything like that, nothing. Is it possible that the algorithm for Twitter, has some sort of built-in death filter? Or, and I say that because if you look on Google search every day, at least one person in the top 10 usually is someone that's passed away. Some celebrities passed away, or somebody that is a celebrity to others, and I have no idea who they are, has passed away. And they'll get on the top searches for the day. Or is that a larger thing? Does it speak more to our culture and sadness? I say world culture on this one. Sadness for the passing of someone in general. I mean, as I've gotten older, I care much more about life than I did at 20, and it's very hard to talk about. But I'm here. At 20 years old, I'm watching football, and somebody that played football until they were 70. Somebody that played football and now they're 70 years old. You look at them and they're like a mess. You're like, oh well, they made their choice, right? And then they started to cut down on some of the tackles and stuff in football. Meanwhile, the MMA sport just started growing. You beat somebody up, and every day you practice, these things, and then you get to go beat somebody up, or they get to beat you up, and like that's not going to cause long-term brain damage in the future. I mean, are we really gonna play this game? And then you say, like I did when I was in my 20s, what difference does it make? That's their choice. That's right, I guess. But I don't enjoy the fighting in mixed martial arts. Used to watch the hockey fights. Don't enjoy that. When people die, it affects me, and I don't. It did not before. Like let's talk about war. The Iraq War, everyone told me that it was going to work out great and we were going to bring democracy to this country that was sorely needing it. They were being kept down by their dictator. And we went over there and clearly destroyed the regime. But our ability to do any sort of nation building or give the people just general basic food and water was such a crappy job, such a terrible job for the greatest country in the history of the earth to go over there and just embarrass ourselves like that. You're not gonna hear me say that it's a great idea for us to go to war with anyone. And you can say, but we have these missiles now, and nobody gets hurt. Nobody on our side it doesn't matter. War, no war. And you say, well, then these countries are going to get more powerful and take over the United States. I'm to the point. I don't want it to happen. I think we should always spend money on our defense, but our defense at home. Playing world police officer after Iraq, or how about Afghanistan? I mean, how did that go? Again, it's the loss of life. That's my sadness. But we go on. So I don't know if it's for Twitter and YouTube. I don't know if the algorithm, wades into the idea of death and promotes tweets that, are related to death, or if people are just fascinated by death and it naturally draws it naturally draws the algorithm. I don't know. Again, you guys know more about this stuff than I do. I just got a notification that my posting to Deerwood Realty on my business page has been paused by the company that does the posting. And it's like, okay, well, no one's going there anyway, so I don't really. Whatever. Whatevs. Today's plans, it is real estate wise. I am going to go show houses in Ferguson and Florissant to a first time home buyer, first time out looking at houses. Going to be nice to meet the fellow. It's like sleeting here. It started last night, freezing rain, and there's definitely like snow or whatever you want to call it on the ground. The streets look to be okay right now. We're going during the day. My concern is going to be tonight when it freezes over, but I won't be showing houses at night. Tonight it'll be during the day. I had a lot of other buyers that kind of said no thanks this weekend. One house that I thought had a possibility for the people. The backyard is literally 10 feet and then a cliff. No one wants to live like that and pay that kind of money. Well, obviously some people do, but not my buyers. And then the other buyers are all over the place. And my one, I'll have to talk to him because he's disappeared, and he was pretty excited about looking at houses, and now he's just not saying anything. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know if I will get a podcast done, but I don't know what I'm going to do it about. Let's do Google Trends. Let's do it in the context of the idea. People have put forth this idea that there's a simulation. Okay, we're all living in a simulation, and it's all our own simulation. Now, do I believe that? I don't know. I don't know anything, but I'm gonna get the thing right here. Let me hit the button. Okay, look at that. Epstein-Barr virus may be the cause of multiple sclerosis. Now, universal truth: Epstein didn't kill himself. Okay, and Epstein was imprisoned during Bob Barr's time at the DOJ. Now, also, Bob Barr's father hired Jeffrey Epstein at a private school, I believe in New York, long time ago. But I hope I didn't get banned for that. That's, I watch some other people stream, mainly Reconsider Media, or Reconsider Law, and like the things that he talks about and the things that he says are sometimes like ear cringing, and I don't wish anything bad to happen to him as far as like his stream getting shut down. He did get locked out of YouTube right before the trial of Rittenhouse, which was weird because it had to do with something in the chat, they say. But like I just made an Epstein joke, and I'm worried that that's going to get me kicked off of YouTube. I try to be good. So anyway, Epstein-Barr virus may be the cause of multiple sclerosis. Okay. It says the first study to provide compelling evidence of causality. Now, I'm bringing this up. There was over 100,000 searches on this topic. It says multiple sclerosis is we know what it is. It says until now there's been no definitive cure to it. And then it says a new study led by Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health research suggests that MS is likely caused by an infection with the Epstein-Barr virus. Epstein-Barr virus, EBV, is a herpes virus that can cause infectious mononucleosis and establish a latent lifelong host infection. So if you get mono, the mono that makes you tired, is that mono? I don't know. Setting up a causal connection between the virus and the disease is quite difficult because EBV infects around 95% of adults. Oh. Whereas MS is rare. The beginning of MS symptoms occur roughly 10 years after the EBV disease. To determine the association between MS and EBV, scientists conducted a study among more than 10 million young adults on active duty in the U.S. military. 950 participants among them were diagnosed with MS during their service period. Oh, okay. So 10 million, and out of that 10 million, 955 participants were diagnosed with MS. Scientists biannually collected and analyzed serum. Well, I'm not a scientist and I don't know the numbers, but if you take 10 million young adults on active duty and scan them for anything, could you come up with a better percentage of other diseases than this one? Scientists biannually connected and analyzed serum samples. Then they then determined the soldiers' EBV status at the time of the first sample and relationship between EBV infection and MS onset during the period of active duty. In this cohort, the risk of MS increased 32-fold after infection with EBV, but was unchanged after infection with other viruses. Infection. Serum levels of neurofilament light chain, a biomarker of the nerve degeneration typical in MS, increased only after EBV infection. Oh, well, that's interesting. The findings cannot be explained by any known risk factor for MS and suggest EBV as the leading cause of MS. The hypothesis that EBV causes our group and others have investigated MS for several years, but this is the first study proving compelling evidence of causality. The delay between EBV infection and the onset of MS may be partially due to the disease's symptoms being undetected during the earliest stages and partially due to the evolving relationship between EBV and the host's immune system, which is repeatedly stimulated whenever latent virus reactivates. Currently, there is no way to prevent or treat EBV infection effectively, but an EBV vaccine or targeting the virus with EBV-specific antiviral drugs could ultimately prevent or cure MS. And I'm all for that. Go for it. When you get it done, got some tests, go for it. I'll be the first in line. But until then, what am I going to do? Okay. Let's get to it. We're going to go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for our luxury home today. There's only 3 that are above $1 million. One's Powers Realty and 2 of them are Sotheby's. Okay. I don't know. I looked up on a case of the Mondays or on one of my live streams, I looked up Milwaukee real estate and I don't know if these houses are the same ones. So, and I don't know when I looked them up. So let's look at this first one. The thing that I would say first is I feel like I've seen this one because I remember remarking about the picture showing the drone footage. As you guys know, I hate drone footage as the first picture, but I thought this was okay because it was showing the water and how close it was. So let's look this up. $1.59 million, 9,583 square feet lot. I'm sorry about that. I don't care about the lot unless it's I do kind of care. But anyway, 6,620 acres, 2 cars, built in 1910. If I've seen this one, we're going to look at 3 houses. I don't want to look at more than 3. That's the front yard or the backyard. I don't know what we're looking at. So that's always a problem. So what do we got here? Is this the front? It's got to be the front because there's the driveway, right? Okay, so this is the front. I don't know if I like this picture, and I don't know why that window's open. And I don't understand how this house could, 121 days ago I could see it, but I mean, right now in Milwaukee, it's probably cold. I like the windows. I like it. I like the ceiling. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like this touch of modern with the room. I don't know what that is. I know that's the kitchen. But you know, like this is 1910, and you can just see that people did not think about using your kitchen as a big space. And it's so strange to me because I think everybody I know, if they're having a party or something, somebody's going to be in the kitchen just getting drinks and, you know, or I guess if you have a wet bar somewhere else, maybe you're not, but everyone's in the kitchen, everyone's talking, everyone's trying to help out. Like that's the place of gathering. Have we changed? Is it perhaps rude to be in? Was it perhaps rude to be in the kitchen a long time ago? I don't know. I mean, you're close to the water. 30 pictures, $1.5 million. I'll take it. Let's look at this house. It's important to look at the zip codes just to see if we're in the same area. They're all in the same area. Okay. And this is nice. Now, it's also, you can see the lake right there. It's only been on the market 20 hours. Okay. 4-car garage, built in 1895. Let's look at the property history. It was listed 1/15/2022. It says listing remove. It says 1.245. What are we at? 1.245. So the statistics don't make any sense because it clearly wasn't removed. It was just on. I mean, it was just added 20 hours ago. Well, maybe not. Oh, it's 1/15/22 today. Anyway, let's look at some property details. Historic Eastside home is an exceptional example of a late 19th century English Tudor masterfully restored and renovated to suit today's buyers. The home's original character can still be seen through this stately rooms with ornamental ceilings, moldings, rich woods, and grand natural fireplaces. Over $325,000 has been invested to completely modernize the kitchen, baths, HVAC, electrical, and much more in both the main residence and the coach house. The iconic masterpiece can be recognized by its ashlar red sandstone exterior and sits on a corner lot across from the famous Lake Park. Originally made to offer the joys of natural beauty to city dwellers, today the park provides everything from quiet nature trails to outdoor concerts. There's so much to appreciate about this beautiful home. 6 beds, 5.5 baths. $1.2 million. Kind of a cool look. You don't see this style like with this stone. I don't see it very often. There's the lake. There's the lake park. I mean, the ceiling is awesome. But when you look at it, you're like, where's the $325,000 on the HVAC in the kitchen? We haven't gotten there yet. That's a beautiful room. I hate these chairs, but that's just me. I never did like them. You go to weddings and stuff, and it's like, I don't like these. The woodwork's there and preserved. Now there's the kitchen. I don't know. What do you think? I think we just froze up for a second. I hate that. I hate it. Don't really want, I mean, that would be the first thing I changed when I moved in. As I've gotten older, I like radiator heat, whereas when I was younger, I preferred what I have in my own house. I know it feels bad. I feel like there's like a draft, and the warmth of the radiators is just soothing. Now they pop and stuff, but I don't know how to work a radiator. But anyway, here we go. Okay. 3-car garage, 1.1 million. Let's go 1.2. 7,000 square feet. Same zip code, same area. Magnificent water tower district property. Gorgeous architectural details throughout with beam ceilings, rich millwork, gleaming hardwood floors, stunning sightlines, and a great flow. 6 fireplaces, spacious room sizes. Fabulous sunroom and patio area features spacious backyard. Rare attached 3-car garage includes garden room and enclosed breezeway. 2 staircases, exceptionally tall ceilings. Walk up 3rd floor has cool rental efficiency. Gracious property features numerous updates, including spotless basement with 3 sump pumps, newer drain tile, and epoxy basement floor. 6 chimneys, all inspected, realigned, new dampers, and new flue tile extensions, zero electrical throughout. Pre-listing inspection and all reports on file. So they did a pre-listing inspection. Make you buy with confidence. The idea that you would buy with confidence. I mean that's a beautiful room. I told my wife, we were talking yesterday, I vacillate between a big house, okay, and a small house. And they could do better in the kitchen, let's be honest. I say that because, like, look at this space. Let's assume this space is somewhat real, you know, as far as like they're not using camera tricks. I don't know that I like big rooms and being one person. I don't like I don't like a big room with a bunch of furniture. I find it makes the room kind of cramped. And with minimal furniture, it just seems like there's not much there. So there has to be some sort of balance. But, you know, my house, I believe it's 1,400 square feet, maybe 1,450 square feet. And we've remodeled the basement, so it's a usable space. And I mean, I would say that the newer homes with the bathrooms and the bedrooms, where the bedroom's like 20 by 20, and then you go into a bathroom that has like a his and her sink or Jack and Jill sink with a shower and a separate tub, jacuzzi tub. That's nice. Like, and where the you know, maybe there's a closet or something, a walk-in closet off of the bathroom that's also huge, or next to the, you know, into the room. Still, I mean, almost maybe a 10 by 10 or even larger. That's cool. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why you need to just run out of your bedroom every day. Like, why can't you enjoy that space? So I like that. But, you know, living rooms and family rooms that are huge, when you're, I mean, at some point it's just gonna be my wife and I, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like too big of a house. And I kind of like the closeness and being like less space. It's very strange. It's maybe a lot of other people struggle with it as well. It's a nice house. You know, what are we gonna say? It's a nice house, and I wish them the best of luck selling it for the highest price possible. And I do need to check one thing because I missed the button. 7 days on market, so you know they got a chance to sell that house. Okay, now we're gonna go into something. It might take the rest of the time. I got, so you know that I watch a lot, or that I'm looking out for real estate news, okay? At all times. Real estate industry news is the number one thing that I pay attention to. Because I need content. So a couple days ago, I see this very similar headline in another place. It says, Reality speaks out against mandatory NAR MLS policy. The other article, and I'm trying just to do the nuance, the other article said, Reality CEO comes out against mandatory NAR, like speaks out. The verbs being used or the descriptions being used are like the perception, or what, as I understood it, was, here's the head of Reality, which is Coldwell Banker. I think they own Corcoran, Century 21, maybe Better Homes and Gardens. They own like 9 different franchises. Okay, or they franchise like 9 different brands of real estate across the United States. I don't know that they have I don't know if they have. I almost said Dealman Sotheby's, but that's here in St. Louis. They may have the Sotheby's franchise as well. But don't quote me on that, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. It's just they're the largest franchisor, I believe, of different brands. You know, like Keller Williams may have the most agents. Anyway, there was an article way back that Keller Williams, they say they have the most agents, but you know, half of them are like dead. They didn't clean up the rolls. But you know, I'm an independent small brokerage in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm not in this war, okay? Whatever happens in the war, I will be dealing with it, the outcome, the aftermath. But I'm not on the front lines. They are. Rheology is. And so, anyway, just my initial reaction was, how dare you, Rheology, speak out against this and have a press conference? And how dare you? Who do you think you are? You know, very mad, because I don't like when people, you know, why it's not courageous to speak out against the National Association of Realtors in this sense when you have nothing to lose. If you're the top executive of Rheology, you've got enough money today that you can retire and never have to work again and still live a pretty good life in America. So it's not like, and if you do it just right, we've found that there's other people in our culture that even if you are a millionaire and you take a different position, you can milk that for many, many more millions. So, but then I read the article, and I think we need to do that sometimes, right? We need to read the article to see what it's about, not just depend on the headlines and go on from there. Now, we're all busy, so I get why we wouldn't. But I thought that this particular writing was the best framing of what actually happened, with a headline that's deceptive, but I don't think intentionally. I mean, the guy got a lot of flack. Oh my gosh, now I can't have it? You're not going to let me have it? Really? We're not going to get the... Oh my God. I have the premium content. Can I do this? I set it up that well, and you're going to do that to me? Okay. I guess we're not going to get it on RS Media. Not good. Not good. All right. Well, what are we going to do? We're on a live stream, and I just hyped a thing that I can't do anything with. So do I look up for someone else? I mean, I can. Give me a second. I'll fix this. I'll look it up. I don't want to look up the one source because I didn't like the way it was framed. And this was the best way it was framed, but if it's not for me to find out now, that's fine. I don't use DuckDuckGo because they're terrible as far as getting what I want. So that's RS Media 4 days ago. I don't know that they're going to do that. This is Newsbreak. Let's see if this is any good. That's weird that it's only on RIS Media because it was in another place too. Yeah, I mean, RIS and I are not getting along today, which is fine. Well, I guess we're not going to do that story. I mean, I hate to say it. We can go here, Facebook page. But it's just pulling the NAR policy. I don't know. It was a very well written article. That's a shame, but we can't do it today. I need news. Let's see. Like, here's Inman. I don't have a subscription to Inman, so I can't. This was the one that I saw, okay? But you're not going to be able to pull it because it's going to be under. See? So I can't do it. And the RIS Media one, I could. But if it's not here, I mean, what are you going to do? So I guess we don't do it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be taken aback by it, but I mean, it worked fine this morning, and now you're going to do this to me. I can't do anything. So we're done. I'm not going to talk about it. Now we're at that one, but that one's probably going to go. So let's go here. So we're going to go from a very explosive article that I had set up and I wanted to spend a lot of time on to something less than that. But anyway, since I can't, let's do this. Since I can't talk about it because I lost my ability to bring in any information. The head of rheology was being deposed, or was being deposed in a lawsuit, and the lawsuit, some of that stuff was published this past week, and it really wasn't him saying, it was him saying whether or not you offer $1 or you offer zero compensation shouldn't really be something to fight about in the MLS system. Now, it's much more complicated issue than that, but if you boil it down to that, that's true. I feel like if you're going to be a part of the MLS, okay, the multiple listing system, you should be on a real estate board, okay? And if you're on a real estate board, you should have some mechanism for how you compensate your agents. In that, like, if you can't be on a board and not be not have compensation for agents, not paid by the board, but guidelines on how companies could go about paying shared listings. Okay? Because the last thing you want is like the rental market right now in St. Louis. So if somebody calls me and says, John, hey, you're a great real estate agent. Can you help me get with a lease? No, I can't. Well, why not? Well, because I get paid so little for a lease that I can't really even afford going out to go. It's easier for me to make zero money and not lose money by going out and showing you a lease. And you say, well, how can that be? Well, that's the pay. They publish the pay, and the pay is horrible, and I can't do it. Now, it may be different in other places. When I started doing leases, it was a better cut. It was more reasonable. But now, there's no point in me ever showing a lease. You're better off calling the leasing agent yourself. Now, are you being represented on your side? No. You're only being represented by the landlord's side. Is that good or bad? I don't know. If that's what you want in single-family home sales, do it. See what happens. I mean, it's to me, on the compensation, on the shared compensation, okay? If you say sellers no longer pay the buyer's commission, okay, that must be detached. The buyers are still going to want compensation, and the agents, or the buyer's agent is going to want compensation. He's going to charge it to the buyer, and then the buyer is going to raise the price of the house that they end up selling because they end up paying for a realtor back in the day. There's no getting around. Someone's going to bear the cost of the real estate agent, okay? And it's going to be the consumer? Yes. Okay. Is that a bad thing? Should we go without commissions? Sure. Go without commissions and see how that works out for you over time. I mean, it's a fascinating thing, but we can't do it because we're locked out. So let's go here. This was an interesting article. It says 7 DIY projects to undertake if you want to improve your house's value in 2022. So 7. But it's not like you'd think. So it's not like 7, like, 1, 2, 3. It's they didn't do it like that. They did it better. I mean, this is a great article, great writing, and I've put the source there, and hopefully you will go to their site and see it. But here it is. It says, instead of like fix one thing, it kind of looks at things as a whole. So it says, make a good first impression. Your entryway or foyer can be incredibly important when it comes to the value of your home, as it sets the entire tone for the rest of the space. So when you walk in the house, you should have that, moment. And then it talks about some of the materials you can use to achieve that effect. And so what do I always tell you when we look at houses? When we walk through the door, it's like, what is this? Is this Is this what I need? It says spruce up your outdoor space. I've been talking about this as well. These outdoor spaces, even though you can't use them all year round here in St. Louis, they're good to have. They're good to have. It says, according to this woman or man, I don't know, woman, buyers can attach anywhere from roughly 5 to 12% more value to a home with a well-maintained landscape. And I agree with that. I think if you put in the money and the effort, people will reward you when it comes time to sell. But it takes a lot of effort. It says create more storage. The sense of calm that comes with knowing that there's a place for everything is unmatched. Biggest non-aesthetic question of our clients is, will I have enough storage? Very interesting. One caveat she notes is open shelving is display, not storage. And we heard about that a while back where the KitchenAid mixer was supposed to be put away off the countertop, and it's like, oh man, that's heavy. Give it a fresh coat of paint. Well, that's great. I agree. And look and see, like they'd call them like the hottest colors of the year. One year was bone white. There's just like, it's cool. I agree with that. Reconsider the kitchen. According to an open door survey, 50% of prospective homebuyers said that outdated kitchen appliances is their biggest turnoff. Replaced with stainless steel. I don't know. If your kitchen's outdated and you put in stainless steel appliances, it's not going to help if it's just way outdated. This is me. And then it says, an author's a bathroom renovation generally costs 3% of a home's value, but a DIY can make it even less than that, dramatically increasing your ROI. Now, in my own house, I need to redo both bathrooms, okay? But the problem is to do that, I feel like my own opinion is the electrical is less than great, okay? The second problem is the way they put in the tile before, they used like a wire mesh that's very dense, and then they put concrete over the wire mesh, which is a great product for holding tile on the wall, but taking tile off the wall is not easy. Like, it's going to take a lot. And when both bathrooms are as bad as they are, I feel like you're just better off doing both bathrooms at the same time. But that takes money. Uh, 3 to 8% of a home's value. I don't think that's always accurate because, I mean, if you were like in $100,000 house, what do you got, $300 to fix up the bathroom? It's just not that way. Wood flooring is a smart home upgrade that will always add value. I agree with the flooring. And that was it. That was the article. I kind of flubbed it. You can tell that I'm a little bit shaken by the non-article article that I hyped and then couldn't produce. Sorry about that. I'm actually kind of depressed about it. I don't know. I think we'll just quit for the day. We'll definitely quit with that. I mean, I don't know. So when I wanted to talk about something, just while I've got you, I've got a captive audience and I got a couple minutes. So here's what I wanted to go over that I've been thinking about, and that is, have you read that online? You'll see every once in a while somebody will say, hey, the way to become an expert at something is you need 10,000 hours of practice at it. Okay. And so I got to thinking, in fact, let's just do the math while we're here, right? So let's see. So let's take 10,000 hours and divide that by 365. Let's assume I can live stream every day. I must have done the math wrong because now it says 273.97, so 274. So it's like 274 years. I'm not going to make it in my lifetime. if I only do an hour a day. Let's do 10,000 divided by, oh, I did 100,000 divided by 365. Is that it? 27 years. That's better. I did 100,000. I hit the wrong button. So it's going to take me 27 years to get better, like to the point where I'm an expert. And it, God, I'm not. Shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. I'll be 71 years old when I become an expert at live streaming. Do I picture myself live streaming in 70 years old? Why not? I already know that I'm older than most people that stream now. Most people are streaming like 20. So anyway, that ought to be interesting. Well, kind of had let's do a recap. We had a good start. The Epstein-Barr virus, that was good. The houses in Milwaukee, I had not seen them before, so that was good. But the real kicker today was the National Association of Realtors and the Reality thing not working out for us. I'm disappointed by it. I mean, like, see here, I've got an RIS article, and if I do this, it doesn't flip it. I don't understand why that one was the one here. I mean, so I'm showing you that, and then you guys actually can't see it because I didn't hit the button. But anyway, I have other articles, and it didn't have a problem. So, anyway, maybe we'll get to it tomorrow. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it won't. Maybe we'll never see it, but we'll look. How's that? Is that fair? We'll just take a look tomorrow. Tomorrow should be 9 o'clock. Kind of want to go on a ride tomorrow afternoon with my wife. Excuse me. I kind of have to show a house, so we'll see how that goes. But like I continue to say, I know you guys watch these on replays, and thank you. I appreciate it. Who knows what my podcast will be about this afternoon, but hopefully it'll be an engaging topic and one you'll take interest in. And I think I have an idea, but I don't know if I have time. I'm going to have to write it by myself, and that normally takes a while to write it out. So anyway, hey, have a good day. It's Saturday wherever you are, hopefully. Just enjoy it. We only get so many days.